So how would you feel if you had more clarity, more confidence around your wealth journey? Hi, this is Antone here, and in this short video, we're going to help you have more clarity around your wealth journey. We're going to step back from all this noise out there, and we're going to put it aside, and we're going to look at the big picture. So this is part 2 of this series we're talking about, and make sure you watch part 1 because this is building off of part 1. So before we dive into that, just go ahead and download the illustration I'm about to draw right below this video from the show notes. So with that, buckle up and let's dive in because this is going to help you have more clarity. So let's go ahead and dive in. So a lot of people, again, there's a lot of noise out there, and we're saying just get rid of the noise for a second, put it aside, breathe easier, knowing that there's a solution, and it's so much simpler than you're making it, that you have to focus on the core principles, the wealth principles we've been talking about. This is, to me, the most important thing in building wealth for you is what's called mental models. It is how you think about the world. So let me give you an example. The first time I started hearing about financial statements and I started hearing about, stocks and dividends and equity and real estate and all of that stuff, is all just noise. And when I heard, for example, financial statements, all I heard was a piece of paper and a whole bunch of numbers, and I just didn't care about this stuff. But once I started building a mental model around how to think about it, it became so much easier, because what I did was I tied all this stuff to something I know I can relate to. Something I know, something I can relate to. Okay? And so what happened is I started tying it into the idea of going on a journey and driving a car and a vehicle and a dashboard and a GPS and all kinds of stuff that I'm used to. And what happened is suddenly I started seeing the world of investing in a different way that I can relate to. That's called the mental model. And that is one of the most powerful things you can do. I don't care what you invest in. The first thing is for you to understand how to think about the world that you're investing in. And that's called the mental model. That's the first thing. To create clarity, you need to start by creating a mental model. So let's go ahead and do that. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about a wealth journey. You are on a wealth journey. Okay? Let's start with removing all the noise and tell yourself, I am on a journey, and there are 3 steps for every journey. Number 1, first is you choose your destination. Where are you going to? Number 2, once you know where you're headed to, okay, you develop your roadmap or plan. How are you going to get there? And 3, follow the steps or your path. Okay, so let's take an example. You decide you want to go on a journey, New York. Okay, so your destination is New York, and you want to get a specific address. Okay, in our world, you want to have a specific lifestyle that you have to define, and the lifestyle, and the address in this case, in your case, is the specific passive income goal, this over here. So this is your destination. Okay? Very simple. Second is develop your roadmap. So your roadmap is how do you get from where you're at today to this point. So from today to here, this is called the gap. This is your gap. The way you fill this is your roadmap. Okay? Let's take an example. If I'm going to drive to New York and I'm over here, whatever city, there might be a number of ways to get there. So the first thing I might think of is, okay, I can drive a car, I can catch a bus, I can, take the train, I can walk, I can ride a bicycle, right? On and on and on, right? Or I can fly. So these are different ways to get there. This is called a strategy, right? And This is affected by, for example, let's just say you're taking your goal is to, in this case, take a 10-day vacation to New York. That's your goal, and your destination is New York, and you have 10 days to do so, to be there. So what my constraint this strategy is, you also have to keep in mind your constraint, meaning 10-day vacation. You only have 10 days to do it, to be there. So what happens is you come up with a strategy, for example, because of the 10 days and because of there's a lot of nice scenic route, I'm going to take a car and I'm going to drive there for a couple of hours, whatever, several hours, and I'm going to be in New York for 10 days. And then I'm going to drive back. I'm going to pass by all the scenic route. So again, you're coming up with a strategy. This strategy then gives you the plan. Now, what does that mean? So now you know you're going to drive a car, but you don't have a car. You're going to rent a car. So the first step is rent a car, right? That's a plan. You're writing down your plan. You're going to be there for 10 days. You're going to reserve a hotel, right? And you come up with the steps and all the steps you need. That's your plan. So out of the strategy, again, this is part of this here. You come up with a strategy. How are you going to get there? What are the steps? You write them down. And then in step 3, you're going to just follow the path. So this is over here. You're going to develop a strategy and you're going to generate a plan. Very simple. Now, in our case, what we're going to do is we're going to decide, for example, real estate or whatever it is, and then generate the plan. Yeah, I'm going to buy real estate in my area. All of that is part of the strategy. And then what are the steps? Let's create clarity. We're going on a journey. There are 3 steps. Choose your destination. You're going to pick your lifestyle and your financial goal. Develop your roadmap, strategy, and plan. There's actually more steps, but I'm going to stick with those for now. And number 3, follow the path. Once you have your plan in writing, all you're going to do is follow the steps. That's it. So the output of develop your plan, roadmap, is you're going to get this plan in writing, and you're going to then follow the path and get your destination. Okay? Now, again, what we're trying to simplify the whole wealth journey. So let's step back for a second and look at what we just did. To create clarity, we have to go down to the core principles. What are we trying to do? There's an objective here, and we want to get to this goal. But the way we think about it, the way is by creating a mental model. Mental model gives you a way that you can relate to. You're used to going on vacation and doing all these steps. You are used to this process. So we're going to use terms that you're used to. Now, in real life, part of your strategy also is to use a GPS. There are a GPS here. The GPS literally will give you the steps, right? You just have to follow and get there, right? Simple. That's your strategy. You're going to use a car. You're going to use a GPS. You're going to go there for 10 days. You're going to use the scenic route, and you're going to enjoy your vacation. Okay, that's your strategy. And then you write down the steps. That's it. High level. Now we're creating clarity. So all I want you to do for part 3 is to think about, what is this you want? What is the goal you want? What's the lifestyle? What's the passive income goal? Then what we're going to start doing is expanding on this in part 3. We're going to talk about develop your roadmap. Why? Because this is where people fail. They make it way too complicated, but in reality, it's very simple. You have to understand the objective and the goal. So make sure you write this down, complete the step. And in part 3 of the series, I'm going to focus on this a little bit more. Okay. So with that, I'll see you in part 3.